Good evening, it is Tuesday, 10th December 2024. I am Daniela Edwin. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We are on Flu Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, and the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page. Not forgetting those of you using the Hot 7 plug and play antenna. Thank you so much for joining us. On December 10, 2024, Saint Lucia marked a major achievement in its healthcare transformation with the official opening of the Dr. Betty Wells Polyclinic in Castries, a testament to the government's commitment to improving health services. Leaders including Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre and Minister of Health Moses Jean-Baptiste highlighted the strides made and plans for the future at the ceremony.
The newly inaugurated Dr. Betty Wells Polyclinic stands as a beacon of progress in St. Lucia's healthcare landscape. This facility promises to deliver modern, efficient care while honoring the sacrifices of health workers and the resilience of the community. Minister of Health Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste emphasized efforts to tackle long-standing healthcare challenges. The polyclinic is part of a broader initiative to improve healthcare access and infrastructure. Services at the facility, including primary care and specialized clinics, are already operational. Jean-Baptiste highlighted ongoing investments, including refurbishing additional health centers and implementing universal health coverage.
Today's ceremony marks the start of services. We have started services at the Dr. Betty Wells Urban Polyclinic. But this ceremony today is to honor all those who have worked very hard to begin our services. So this whole complex will be transformed. What we are doing today is to recognize the sacrifice and the commitment of all those who have worked hard to ensure that the services in the eye care clinic and the other services have started. Hundreds of St. Lucians have already accessed the eye clinic. So this is not a start ceremony. The services have started.
The government has steadily increased healthcare funding, with the Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre raising the Ministry of Health's budget from $183 million to $191 million in the last fiscal year. The polyclinic also benefits from international partnerships, particularly with Cuba, whose medical teams play a vital role in St. Lucia's health system.
I want to take the opportunity to thank the Cuban government and the people of Cuba for what they've done for the health services in this country. You can imagine what the health sector would look without the Cuban doctors and the Cuban medical personnel who were trained in Cuba and who are working in St. Lucia. And there are many good things happening in the health services of St. Lucia. And I want to thank the doctors and the nurses and everyone who are in that sector.
The Dr. Betty Wells Polyclinic signals a new era in St. Lucia's healthcare. As the government invests in infrastructure and services, officials urge the public to focus on the progress being made while addressing challenges. For now, the community celebrates a significant step forward in accessible, quality healthcare. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Stevana Francis.
In response to growing concerns over the standard of work being done on the island's road networks and the fact that many roads are destroyed shortly after being worked on, Minister of Infrastructure Stephenson King says improving road standards is on his priority list.
According to Infrastructure Minister Stephenson King, road standards and quality form an integral part of the year of Infrastructure 2024, beginning with strengthening policy and then improvements in project scopes and requirements for contractors. This notion stemmed from mounting concerns over the quality of work being seen across the island when it comes to the lifespan of roads and other infrastructure projects. In a recent news interview, a Mont Fortune resident had complained about potholes forming on a newly constructed road, something the resident says was an issue across the island. With this in mind, the senior minister says more stringent and robust road standards will be implemented to ensure the island's roads are rehabilitated properly.
While we speak of improving the quality of roads, the standard and the life of the road, a lot of that depends on the quality of material you use. Just like your home, it's the quality of material and workmanship. The other area that we are looking at is the strategic plan which we have launched, Infrastructure 2030. So Infrastructure 2030 is not just to say we have launched a program and it has no meat into it. What it will do a number of things. One, the Works and Roads Act, which was launched in 1959, which was passed in 1959, will be revamped, will be re-looked at, reviewed, and a new piece of legislation will be presented to Parliament for consideration and approval. It means, therefore, that a number of the standards in there, a lot of it has changed, those standards will come into force, and then we will put very strict protocols in place to ensure that road contractors, even ministry officials who are designing, will conform to those designs, even if they use what we call the standards of the FIDIC, which is the International Corporation of Engineers.
King says such standards will be instituted to ensure that engineers design all aspects of the project, from structural plans to the supervision of work done properly. With that, he unearthed the key challenge faced by the ministry, which is the procurement and testing of raw material for projects.
The government, as we speak now, doesn't operate its own bitumen plant, okay? So when we look for asphalt, we go to the private sector to get the asphalt. They're the ones who mix the asphalt for us. The standard has to be that any quantity of asphalt you purchase from a private sector entity, it must be tested, and only if it succeeds the test, it must be applied. In some instances, some of that material fails, yet still there's no penalty. And therefore the legislation now will introduce penalties, and to ensure that if the manufacturer fails to meet the standard, that material can be removed and, of course, the right standard met.
He goes on to state that the absence of such penalty has led to some of the island's roads being constructed with material that is substandard, resulting in severe wear and tear. To remedy this, he says, measures will be put in place to ensure this does not persist.
We have had situations in recent times where we have seen the use of asphalt in repairing some of our roads, and soon after it is repaired, you see it flaking off, deteriorating, the pothole returns. And what we discovered again was that the producer of the asphalt doesn't have a quality control manager. And even when he produces, somewhere along the line, there seemed to be negligence in ensuring that the material is tested and the right action is taken to withdraw the material. What we found when objection was raised on this matter was that the plant was malfunctioning, that a particular part within the plant to be able, that regulates the mix design in terms of the quantity of bitumen as against stone and sand, etc., wasn't regulating as it should, and so the quality that you got was bad. So the number of actions we've got to take. We also got to ensure that the quality of workers that we put out there to undertake our roadworks from within the department and without the department are up to a standard.
And last but not least, Keane says human capital is also being looked at in terms of ensuring the quality of workers executing the various jobs are adequately trained and possess the requisite skills to produce quality work. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
A resident of Castries claims the Saint Lucia Registry of Births made an error with his birth date on his documents and refuses to change it despite his payment for rectification. The man states this is a recurring issue at the registry office and is calling for others with similar experiences to come together to find a solution.
Michael Goodman of Castries claims that he recently noticed an error on his new birth certificate. Goodman explained that he paid over $100 EC to the registry to correct the error, only to be told that this could not be amended as it was an error that stemmed from the priest who put the document together. According to Goodman, he offered to have his mother attend the office to verify his correct date of birth, but was told this would not be acceptable.
I was born on the 29th of July, 1962. All of my documents state that. Expired passports, ID cards, whatever, the ID from SLASPA, everything's the 29th of July, 1962. All of a sudden, the new whatever, government or whatever, come with a new birth certificate saying I was born on the 27th. I was not born on the 27th, I was born on the 29th. I went to them for rectification. I paid over $100 in an interview with one of the staff on Tuesday. She tells me it is very unlikely that he'll change it to my original date of the 29th. She says, first, the priest made a mistake. The querying, was he there at my birth? No, she made a mistake. She even said, she went as far as to say, he committed a criminal offense. I don't know. I haven't got a tip. She could deny it. And then the other thing is, I said, well, can I bring in my mother? She's still alive. She's of sound mind. She said, yes, you could, but I don't think that will make a difference. What are the ultimate authorities there after God to say, well, I came out of her womb at 9 o'clock on the 29th of July?
Goodman expressed frustration about having to pay for rectification of errors that are not of his own doing and describes this requirement as extortion. He asserts that many St. Lucians take issue with this and is appealing for help to revert his documents to his actual date of birth.
This thing about paying money, that thing looks like a bureaucratic extortion. Everybody's complaining about that. And I don't know. I just don't know. I would like somebody to help me as to why I cannot get my original date. And that is my original date of birth, 29th of July. And you want to change it to 27 because some woman put in the 27th somewhere?
When asked whether there was a process by which he could log a formal complaint with the registry, Goodman explained that he was uncertain and would prefer a rectification of the incorrect date of birth. He states he was told about a process involving an adjudicator, but that he could not understand this given the upsetting experience.
Complaints, I don't know. I wanted it rectified. They told me, guided me through the process, what to do and so forth and so on, as I don't know about the complaints. She told me the adjudicator and a legal team and something like that, but I was so angry already. I didn't think of that, honestly. Very angry. And even I have a piece of documentation there. 14th of October, Michael Anthony Charles. They make the mistakes. They didn't put my surname Goodman, but they let me pass. You know, they let me pass because they knew my face from coming there so often. You know, but I think this thing just doesn't make sense. And each administration, each political party, whether they're in power or opposition, nobody takes it on, and people are suffering.
Goodman's experience is one of many stemming from a period where priests of French or British descent often noted different versions of name spellings and dates. This has caused a series of modern-day issues and people having to accept incorrect dates and names as a result. For the Hot 7 TV News, I am Stevana Francis.
Coming up next, one man says delays in obtaining a foreign driver's license exchange has cost him job opportunities, and government programs to be developed to make the lives of its aging population better during this era of centenarians. All that and so much more coming up when we return.